The Moonbirds NFT. What on earth is going on? There's been over $100 million in revenue from the sales in the last 6 hours. And the price from mint this morning was 2.5 ETH, and the floor price is already over 9 ETH. It's a 400% increase in under 6 hours. Now, my name is Ben, first of all, and from an NFT perspective, I've been more focused on early stage opportunities, longer term growth, investments on the token side. But our research team and team of experts here at Collective Shift have been really focused in on NFT opportunities for a little while now. Matt, our senior analyst here at Collective Shift, has been really focused in on Moonbirds for the last few weeks. And I want to dive into today a bit of a journey from my perspective, from maybe from a lot of you that are, coming from a more crypto native background with, Bitcoin, tokenized assets, and either have dabbled into NFTs, don't quite understand them, don't know why they're valuable. And I guess we're going to go on this journey together because I'm still, on that investor journey myself. But the priority for me, where I'm looking, is for opportunities. Whether it be NFT, altcoins, Bitcoin, wherever it is, I'm looking for medium to long-term investments that I think are going to have good growth potential. Now, whether or not you're completely sold on NFTs, I just want to dive in today about just the facts, the opportunities that lie in this space, whether or not you believe that this has long-term utility or not. I personally believe they do. I think 90-95% of the NFTs right now are a load of shit and are probably going to go to zero, and a lot of them are cash grabs. But I want to dive into this one. Again, I've been bullish from an investment perspective. I think this is probably a project that has raised the most amount of money in the period of time. It's already surpassed Cyberkongs, Cool Pets, Gutter Cats. There is a lot of money going in this project, and I guess the best way that I think about it is that these projects, companies, NFTs, are businesses, and they've just raised $60-70 million off the mint alone. That's not including secondary sales, to build their company, to build their project. So I want to dive into a little bit, first of all, what on earth is Moonbirds? So Moonbirds is owned by a company called Proof. And Proof recently launched an NFT called the Proof Collective NFT. There was over, I think there was 1,000 Proof NFTs created recently. And their first drop, called Grails, featured an ultra rare works by the likes of Lava Labs and Tyler Hobbs. The floor price of that Proof Collective, there's only 1,000 of these, is $250,000 in Ethereum. And the Moonbirds NFT has been labeled the official avatar for Proof. So basically, this is like the second collection that's been launched by the company Proof, founded by Kevin Rose, who's a pretty infamous entrepreneur. He's a VC capitalist, and he's the founder of Proof and now Moonbirds. Now, Kevin is a pretty prolific entrepreneur, as I said, a business owner, and the transparency, I guess, of where this project's going and what they're doing has been, eye-opening to me as I would call myself an amateur, NFT investor. And he did this update this morning after the launch of Moonbirds that sold out in. They had certain lists that you could get access to try and mint those NFTs because there was so much demand. Spoke about how this Moonbirds project, the Proof company, is a company, and they've raised capital just like any business to build the future of the NFT community. And they spoke about building other collections, getting airdrops, having events, building a metaverse, and a lot of other surprises that he sort of hinted at. Now, a $70 million raise, that's a lot of money. Theoretically, this is a new company. This is like a seed round. It's only like a $70 million seed round. Like, that's unheard of. That's like more of like a Series C. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this money. But the volume has been astronomical. So there's been over $100 million alone in the first 6 hours. They were initially going to do a Dutch auction starting at 2.5 ETH and working their way down. But there was so much hype and overwhelming demand that they opted for a raffle. And there was an allow list. So it was basically, the lotto to get access to this. So you had to sign up with your MetaMask, you had to have a Twitter account and a verified Discord, and you went into the allow list. Now, Matt's been speaking about this for our members ahead of time. This is what we do here at Collective Shift. We help people get ahead of the herd and look at the best investment opportunities. And Matt absolutely killed this. There was nearly 32,000 eligible entrants. That means basically people had a 1 in 4 chance. And a lot of our members missed out. We had a few that got in. Fortunately, Collective Shift got in. And we scooped up that, one of the mints this morning at 2.5 ETH. We had 3 hours to mint. If you missed that mint period, then it was going to go to the wait list and then out to the public. But about 98% of the allow list minted this morning. I think there was like 30 or 40 NFTs left over that the wait list picked up, and then it was completely sold out. At the moment, Moonbird's floor price is now at 9.4 ETH. So to put this in perspective, we paid 2.5 ETH, so about, like $7,000 this morning. And the floor price right now is worth 28,000 in 6 hours. Now, whether or not you believe in NFTs or not, if you think it's a bear market, you don't think it's going to be around in the future, the reality is this is not driven by, bots or fake volume or whatever else. Like, this is a real community. The Discord, which I'll jump into here, is real. Like, this is a real company, a real project that people are buying into, the community. It's more than just, I guess, an ICO bubble a little while ago. Like, this technology, the communities that are being built, the ICO boom that a lot of people are sort of comparing to, a few years ago, was more ICOs coming out, cash grabbing, and then not giving tokens. There was no product, there was no service. What I'm saying this time around is, like, this is built with the community. This is co-creation of projects, communities in the digital sphere. And the airdrops, events, opportunities, utility aspect that Moonbirds is building, they're looking at having the ability to nest your Moonbird and then be able to earn rewards the longer you nest or like stake your crypto, just like any other crypto asset. You can earn those rewards. This is different than before. And whether or not this, the floor price drops, it goes up, goes down, goes sideways. The reality is that there's opportunity here from an investment perspective. And I think this is what I'm trying to get at. The volume here, if I bring up on Nansen, 54,000 ETH volume in the last 24 hours. Like, this is huge. This is not just, a few guys playing around in the room. Like, this is big money. And I think the other thing I wanted to point out is the collection has different rarities based on, what you minted. This was the most rare, I think one of the most rare NFTs of the collection. Was sold this morning for $750,000. $750,000. It's huge. It's unbelievable. Like, you cannot miss this as an investor. You cannot ignore this, I think, is my point. Now, again, I think there's bullish and bearish sides of NFTs. There's a lot of cash grabs. There's a lot of, bad stuff that's going on. But from an opportunities perspective, a lens of like, can you make money in this space? 100% you can. And I think that's very hard to ignore at this point in time. We've also done some data and research at Collective Shift around, looking at total revenue for collections, how we can actually value these NFT assets. And, this was posted by Nathan about a week ago, looking at the minting revenue, secondary revenue. There's already $100 million in revenue. It's completely blown all of these projects out of the water. Water Women Galaxy, Crypto Covens. This project Moonbirds is going to be pretty big. And looking at the backing, having real world team, real world faces, a company behind it, I think it makes it a little bit more real. It's not just some random project that no one really knows about and no one knows who's building. Like, I like the idea that it's a company, they're building a project, it's in a new Web3 format, and obviously the valuations in Web3 right now are astronomical. And I think that's why we're seeing so much money flooding into this space, is because it's an unknown, but people are getting FOMO, people want to get in. And if you're on the right side of the boat, you can take advantage of that. If you're in for a quick flip now, you could flip out with 4 times your money. Like, that's reality of it. There's a lot of projects, by the way, that are shit though. You could have gone in the mint and it's all overhyped and sort of bunch of nonsense. So it's important that you're not just barreling into any NFT because you think it's got the hype and the FOMO of the community. It's important to look into the utility, the community, who's running the company, the team, what are they going to do with the money, their roadmap. I think there's a lot of due diligence needs to be put in NFTs, and that stuff is still being figured out. If you're coming into the NFT space, you're probably wondering, well, like, what makes a good project from a not a good project? And the reality is that's still sort of been figuring out. Like, it's still being figured out. I think that's why we're so early in this space. And that's why we're seeing these gains, the risk versus reward. There's a super risky space, but you're going to get the reward if it pays off and you find a good project. So, look, today was more of just a First of all, well done for those that got into Moonbirds. Second of all, I just wanted to point out, from me, I'm no NFT investor expert. I've come from 5 years, investing into tokenized crypto assets. But coming in the NFT space, it's, I've made some mistakes, bought a scam when I first started. Like, you're gonna make mistakes, but there is opportunity here. I think that's my point today, that like there's money to be made, real money. We've done that today. A lot of our members had, so it's something to keep an eye on and keep learning about and looking into. So if you like that video, please feel free to like and subscribe. You can check out Collective Shift. We've got a lot of resources on how to evaluate NFTs, how to invest, what's a good NFT versus what's not, as well as some upcoming NFTs that we're looking to invest into. Moonbirds is our latest one. But I'd love to hear what your thoughts are of the space. I know, there's both sides of the story, but I'd love to hear what you have to say about the space. Please leave me a comment in the comments below, let me know. But as always, I hope you enjoy that video. My name is Ben from Collective Shift, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks and bye for now.